Warriors of God, get ready for 2023 as Podium Broadcasting Network kicks off the year with a new series called Survival of the Fittest. Catch us live every day at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily for fresh revelation. Also for our midday session, we'll be having a new series entitled Revelation Unfold by the Man of God. So, join us daily to build your spiritual life because it's all about getting people heavenly ready.
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Well, boy, I tell you, some real tough times. This will be in the week here of January here going down. We're talking here about this week here, the survival for the fittest this month. And we're talking here about about the warriors of God. And this is a survival, a survival code. And it's coming our way. You have to have that code. That survival code is very important for us. What we're about to face these coming days is not easy. I thank God for the children of God who are in line with God with Him. And I shared a couple nights ago about the warrior of the lesser. Lesser. I shared about Gideon. Gideon. That's where Gideon was at his parents' home and things, and his parents, and come on to this, God, an angel just come on. I say, hey, you are a mighty man of valor, get out and move out and everything. And he says, man, all the miracles I see and things, and where the miracle of my forefathers, and he turned to the angel, and God ministered to Gideon. And everything God tells Gideon, it worked. It worked. So as I was sharing last time, this man Gideon had no choice than to put his trust in the angels of God. He had to trust that angel of God. Here comes a man, and the man comes to him, and the man tells him what it is he has to do, and he's a mighty man of God, and God chose him as one man army, one man with God. I think one man with God is great. I said last time, God and one man is the greatest. Here comes Gideon, say, God say, tell the angel, say, what Gideon, you're a mighty man, and God and you will do exploits. And this man Gideon, an angel. See, angels are God's ministering agents that possess human beings. I'll say it. Angels are ministering agents from God that possess human beings. I believe that. I believe that. In Hebrews chapter 13 verse 1 it says here, Hebrews 13 verse 1 it says here, let brotherly love continue. Verse 2. But be not forgetful to entertain angels or entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels on our way. Some have. So you could be in the some have, and you don't know that it could be an angel talking to you. Catch it there. Sometimes you entertain human beings, not knowing that they possess the charisma and the characteristics of God in their speech, and they was being influenced by God's agent to talk to you. Be not forgetful, Hebrews 13:2, to entertain strangers. So some of them are strangers, can be sent by God, and He himself knows He's a channel to minister to you. And thereby some has entertained angels unaware. Hey, God still uses angels, but many cannot identify them. After all, that the angel told Gideon, the king will rise up against you. The angel said, Gideon, the king will rise up against you. In chapter 7, Judges chapter 7, verse 1, it says here, then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, his household name, and all the people, what you say, and all the people that were with him rose up early and they pitched beside the well of Herod, so that the host of the Midianites was on the north side of them, but the hill of Morah in the valley. So Gideon moved and he pitched his tents right outside the king's wall, his wells. Verse 2. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee, we are talking here about God using the lesser. He says here, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. Because they will say to themselves again, me saying, my own hands has saved me. So God was seeing how people will think. And God said, hey, Gideon, if I carry all them people you have, I think it's 3,200 people. Or, you know, all them people you have. If I go across that river with that tent in Morah, the valley, they will say, well, because we are a strong people, we have been saved by the victory. God said, Gideon, I can't send 3,200 people. The enemy always come after God manifest. Every time you hear God about a manifest, the enemy come after. You see, God is looking to get the glory for himself. But they can only come by a warrior that don't worry. God say, the angel say, Gideon, you can't carry all them people. How was God talking to Gideon? Gideon. No, the angel was still there, the man. And Gideon believed in the man, the angel. Gideon was looking, God was looking to get the glory to himself. But it can only come by a warrior that don't worry. Gideon was such a man. He believed he can and should trust God at his word. Can you trust God at his word? So Gideon pitched the tent right there. Listen to me. Verse 3. Judges 7, verse 3. Now therefore, go to proclaim in the air. God said, Gideon, go to proclaim in the air. Right? Of the people saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And they returned of the morning 22,000. And they remained 10,000. So it was 32,000 people Gideon had. And when God said, talk in the air, tell them what's me. Whoever afraid, if you're afraid, that's why every time I do something, I don't want to be around people who is afraid. God said, Gideon, talk to them. And all who are afraid, Let them go back home. And they returned 22,000 and only 10,000. 32,000 went to fight and only 10,000 was not afraid. And all they're doing, they're following one man. One man. And that one man following one God. That one God formed an angel and man. An angel of it. God does always do things different from us when it is the time for war. Gideon, that is too much people. They will say that they win the battle because they outnumbered the Midianites. Many times we think our ways is the best ways, but God always work. God ways always work. God ways always. God ways always work. All we have to do is obey him. Here Gideon, one man, 32,000. God says, send them back. Whoever afraid. 22,000 was afraid. How could you go and fight war and all them folks afraid? How did God speak to Gideon? The angel was still there. Verse 4 says, and the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. 10,000, God? Come on. Bring them down to the water, and I will try them. I will try them. I will try them for you there. Gideon, I will show you them 10,000 men still too much. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with you, the same shall go with you. And of whosoever I say unto you, they shall not go, they shall not go. God said, what will Gideon? I'll cut your deal. Take the 10,000 of them. Buy the water. Buy the water. Buy the water. God said, I will try them. God was used trying times on me. Try them. He said, I'll try them. That is temptation, trial, and test. It's God's way of exposing our weaknesses. Temptation, trial, and test. It's God's way. We run too quick, give up too quick. But God, he used water. Why he used water? He used water. See, water is life and can feed your hunger. Water. So God used water with 10,000 men. And God knew that many will be moved by water in time of battle. That's why you don't carry hungry people with you to walk with God. Because when you see food, you'll run with food and leave you. So God used water to test 10,000 men, to show Gideon that them men can't fight for you. Sometimes I put confidence in people and in disappointment, and I believe they could do it, but God knows them suckers in them. They will give up. They'll run. As they get pressure, they run. So God have a way to test you. Temptation, trial, and test is God's way of exposing our weaknesses. But in this case, use water. Water is life and can feel hunger. And God knew that many will be moved by water in time of battle. God knew that water. They could lose the battle if they only go with Gideon, them 10,000. And they get thirsty, God knows the battle is lost. In time to come, there will be money and food in this country. There will be money and food. Watch out. The same way God uses water, he will use money and food next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years. Money and food, money and food. Money, a market of money and food. You will leave God for money, for food. Gideon, bring them men, bring them 10,000 men. Verse 5. So he brought down the people under the water, Gideon. And the Lord said to Gideon, everyone that lappeth water with their tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shall thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down the knees to drink, he said, watch them. So God now separate the requirement. You say one will drink like dogs and one will kneel down and drink. Gideon watch who? Watch him. God is a God of strategy and metrics. He was showing Gideon the wise from the foolish. He said, those who are like dogs, blah, 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 blah. Those who kneel down, watch them. You see, dogs can drink and move fast. Move faster than people on their knees. That's why God says, I can't send them who are the knees to fight war. Weak knees. Call them weak knees bunch. See, our knees is for two purposes. One, to worship God. Worship God. Our knees is to worship God. That's what it's used for. And two, to surrender and lose control. Surrender. Police say, go down. Surrender and I lost control. So those guys who kneel down to drink water, God was showing Gideon is a surrender bunch, and if they get water problem, they will lose control. That's what the Greek says. Verse 6. And the number of them that lap water like dogs, they put their hands to their mouth, were 300 men. They stand up and they drink. But all the rest of the people bow down on their knees, drink water. We are talking here that God uses lesser. And God has ways he can cut numbers and make a large crowd smaller. That's why great things start small. God always gets victory from small things. Because small things have to trust God. Small things must trust God. Must trust God. Today, it is pure hate and acting normal. That is why that is one way to move some folks out. But God used water and the dog style to recruit, and on the worship side to go home. But today, if God wants to shorten a crowd or move me or move you, it's pure hate and acting normal. As one way, move on. Some folks around me, folks around me, acting normal, but they hate. They hate the PBN, they hate me, hate the members, hate this. Pure hate, acting normal. Normal. Pure hate. But they hate what God is doing. That is what God has done to Gideon. He separated the crowd and only 300 men. You see, they don't act normal, but on the inside, it is time to go home. Some was acting normal, and God about to move them. Verse 7 says, and the Lord said to Gideon, by 300 men that lap will I save you, and deliver the midnight into your hands. Let all other people go home. Go home. And I have learned this principle sometimes when folks leave me and leave the church and leave my movement, leave PBS. God, that is one way God tells them, go home. They are qualified to be a soldier with Calvin, or a warrior. And verse 8 says, the people took food in their hand and the trumpets. Those who was going to fight, the 300 men, they took food in their hand and they got a trumpet. And he sent all the rest of Israel, every man, unto his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the host of Midian were beneath him in the valley. Was right below. One of the patterns of God in warfare, he will not let you fight on a hungry belly. He feed a warrior well before the battle. I thank God that he will always feed those before the war starts. When the famine in the country starts and the trouble starts, God will feed us. He will find a way to feed us before the battle begins tense and trouble will start. He will feed us. He will feed the plebeian folks. And it might not be 300, might be just 22, 25 or 30 or 40. Because all the rest had to go home. I hope those people watching me, you are not the one that God will tell you go home. If you are the one, it's pure hate and acting normal. Hey, call me there. See you tomorrow night. Much love. Remember this, you're talking here.
Warriors of God, get ready for 2023 as Podium Broadcasting Network kicks off the year with a new series called Survival of the Fittest. Catch us live every day at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily for fresh revelation. Also for our midday session, we'll be having a new series entitled Revelation Unfold by the Man of God. So, join us daily to build your spiritual life because it's all about getting people heavenly ready.